Hello, Aquarius. Thank you so much for being here. So glad you could make it. I hope you're all doing very, very well. Aquarius, welcome to your monthly money and finances forecast. Aquarius, I've already shuffled and laid out your spread, so we're going to move on to your reading, but stick around because at the end, we're going to take a look at what is some additional guidance and final message for you about your money and finances situation. Okay, Aquarius, let's move on to your reading. Aquarius, your overall energy around your money and finances is the Nine of Swords. And your attitude towards that Nine of Swords overall about your money situation is judgment. So with the Nine of Swords here, overall, the energy around your money is you are so worried about your money situation where it's pushing all other thoughts aside. This is you experiencing debt collectors hounding you, fear and concerns about possible bankruptcy. This is also, you needing to ask for help so that you can receive it, and that there's a need perhaps even for that outside help where you might be able to find it through someone or through an institution. But there is a solution possible with judgment here, but you're going to have to rise to the call and focus on how to rectify it, because with judgment here is your energy and attitude about your money. This is you looking at where you are and where your money and situation is going. This is also you looking to move from any grief or regrets around money. This is looking at things through different eyes, or there's a need to look at things through different eyes. Now, there is a focus on perhaps trying to avoid disaster with money. This is you wanting to escape a nasty fate. This is you perhaps perceiving and viewing your money situation from the perspective of financial catastrophe, when really it can turn out to be something that's not so financially threatening if you get control of your thoughts. This is about focusing on getting an opportunity, seeing how you can get an opportunity to arise, to rectify or get a successful resolution with your money situation. This is also about you making very important decisions here with the goal of being able to reconcile, being able to reflect, and being able to make the right choices. For some of you, you're very worried about a decision where there's some form of authority over your money situation, that a decision is being rendered, and you're very worried about what that decision is going to do to your money and finances situation. Now, Aquarius, your money situation is the Wheel of Fortune, and your attitude towards that Wheel of Fortune is the Seven of Wands. So what I'm seeing here for you with the Wheel of Fortune is there are some ups and downs with money. Now, the Wheel of Fortune generally is a good omen, but the Wheel of Fortune is also saying that the best practice at this time with your money is that there's a need to plan, and so that you can keep from having any problems with money due to any unexpected occurrences that can happen with money, or something fated or destined that could happen. This may be you trying to shift your money and finances situation, but that shift can go well or it could go bad for you. So this here is also saying that there may be a need to act on an idea. The Wheel of Fortune is also saying that you could be experiencing a loss of a source of income that you have been receiving or used to receiving. The Wheel of Fortune is also saying you could be experiencing some sort of major change with your money and finances, or major changes are affecting your money and finances. Now, with the Seven of Wands here as your attitude towards that Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Wands is saying that there's a need for you to protect your money and your investments. You may need to, or you will resort to unusual means to doing this. This may even be you doing the impossible. There's also possibly the need for you to hold off on things that you're doing with money. The Seven of Wands is also saying you can experience success with any quarrels you are experiencing with money as well too. So there's a need to stand guard about your money and finances situation. There may be also you having some sort of quiet protest about what's going on with your money as well, due to the ups and downs that you may be experiencing, or due to the shifts you're trying to make, or the shifts that are occurring with your money and finances that may be uncomfortable, or that you are trying to get an upper hand or get higher ground on by what you do, because this is action oriented with your Seven of Wands here. Aquarius, you do have the Four of Swords and the Three of Swords. So this is a lot of mental activity. The Four of Swords is your money situation, and the Three of Swords, this is your attitude towards your money situation. Now, normally in the Four of Swords is usually being at rest, being able to take a step back, being able to, meditate on the situation, being able to take a break. But with this particular Four of Swords, as you can see, this person is kind of like dressed military style, ready to take flight. Really very focused here, really contemplating what's ahead or what to do. And so with this Four of Swords here representing your money situation, I feel like you may be overly focused on how to generate more income and money. You may not be happy where you are. This may be you looking for extra work, or you're working harder to bring in more money. There may be some money that's due to you that you've been expecting, but there's some sort of delay and there's just not much you can do about it. But also, just know, if that is your situation, that money will be coming in soon. You just have to hold up and hold off until that happens. The Four of Swords is asking you to see how to recover and recoup. Think deeply. Think about the past acts that you've made, that you're not making those actions now if they're going to create more mistakes. I also feel with this Four of Swords, this is you having calm amidst any chaos you may be experiencing about money. Now, this Three of Swords here is your attitude towards money. And so the Three of Swords is saying that you may be feeling hopeless about your money situation, but in this particular Three of Swords, if you take a look, she's holding a key. So with that key in her hand, there's a need with this Three of Swords energy for you to realize or seek the solution, because there's at least one for you, Aquarius. The Three of Swords is also saying that your energy and attitude may be of experiencing a sudden and unexpected loss. There may be some debt, some suffering. This can be just mental, but it also is physical, or there may be some spiritual component here. The Three of Swords is saying you're experiencing some sorrow and despair. There's emotional damage. There's a need to work step by step and keep in perspective your goals, so that you can start to slowly transition and make changes that need to happen that'll give you more peace of mind about your money situation. So there's a need to really consider what needs to happen and what is happening with money. Are there any practices that you have been at that don't serve you, that need to change? Are there new practices that you may be able to implement to improve your money situation? The Three of Swords is asking you to focus on how to recover and not wallow in any sorrow or despair about your money situation. This is about your mindset. There's a need to really ground yourself in your thoughts so that you can see clearly and think clearly, because there is a way to get some solution to your situation or have some sort of respite that you can experience here. Now, Aquarius, your money and finances situation is you do have the Three of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords, which is here again. Remember, you have the Nine of Swords as your overall energy, and now you have it as part of your end of the month. So the Nine of Swords is very significant, where there's a need to be very mindful of your thoughts, okay? Because individual perception is on reality, and the way that you are thinking and perceiving your money situation is also what you are perpetuating, creating, and bringing into form. So there's a need to guard your mind and guard your thoughts, and be mindful about how you're thinking about your money situation. Because the Three of Pentacles is saying that there's a good omen of energy around your money situation where you can see some rewards, some help with money, some source of money, some improvement with money, but it's going to require hard work and effort. This is also saying that you may be finding that you're having to put in more hard work and effort than usual, but because of it, you are begrudging that effort, okay? Being in your thoughts about it. The Three of Pentacles is also saying that there's a need to question and ask yourself, are you working on what you really want to work on, and is it really making you happy with how you're earning your money or what you're doing to go about getting money? Now, there may be concerns with how you're building your money. There's a need to be mindful about what you want to craft, what you want to create. The Three of Pentacles is also saying you someone may be stealing. Be careful about that. But the Three of Pentacles is also saying that you may need a collaborative effort and be able to work as a team. There may be a need for teamwork, and there may be issues with getting teamwork about what needs to happen with money. There may be huge concerns about work. You're worried about work. But there's a need to move away from any despair that you are experiencing about your money. Now, with this particular Nine of Swords here, as your attitude towards your money situation, you may be looking at what you're working on, or about work, or the effort that you're putting into something for income is falling apart. Now, the Nine of Swords is also saying be careful of any illness that could be affecting your ability to earn income or see revenue come in. The Nine of Swords is saying that you may be allowing your fears to get the upper hand with you. Also, the Nine of Swords is saying this is a time that there's a need for you to take control in a scary situation, or that's what you're doing. The Nine of Swords is also saying that you may be looking to, or there's a need to look into how to go about doing something positive about your anxiety and fears so that you can ground yourself and be more focused about your money and finance situation and what needs to happen with that. Now, the Nine of Swords is also saying this is possible where you could be realizing that the threats you may be perceiving about money are not even much of a threat at all in your reality. But also, the Nine of Swords is saying there's maybe a need for you to get some rest because you may be overthinking or not getting any sleep. But this is very restless energy. You may be concerned that something isn't going to work, that you are putting in the works or building or working towards with money, or you may be having trouble with getting support and cooperation from those you're turning to or trusting for that support. Or there's a need to turn to others to get cooperation and support and teamwork here to help you to address your concerns, worries, and fears and doubts about money. You may be doubting something is going to work, or you may be trying to see what you can do to remove all doubt about what needs to work about your money situation. Now, your goals with money, Aquarius, is you do have this Ten of Wands and you have the Chariot. The Ten of Wands is representing your goal with money, and the Chariot is representing your energy and attitude towards that. So with the Ten of Wands here, your goal may be to carry all your responsibilities, and they may be a lot. Your goal may be to let go of any heavy burdens or worries. Your goal may be to no longer be financially overwhelmed. Your goal may be to release yourself of obligations or be able to maintain your obligations. Your goal may be to try to come up with a budget for your money and finances before you getting to a point where you're past the point of being able to budget anymore to fix or rectify the situation. Your goal may be not to become bankrupt. Your goal may be to not take on too much debt, or your goal may be to not drown in debt and obligations. Your goal may be not to see the worst happen with your money and finances situation. Your goal may be to address some stubbornness. You could be dealing with a Cancer with the Chariot energy, where someone may be being very stubborn with being a team, or being of a support, or being of a help or assistance, or giving to the money situation, or causing some sort of hindrance or problem to that, where there's a need to work together. Now, with the Chariot as your energy and attitude towards this Ten of Wands, this is you focusing on overcoming obstacles. This is you having the force, the will to figure out how to control the situation, how to navigate the problems or avoid them. This is you having that willpower. This is also you focusing on how you can get your way that you want to see happen with your money and finances. For some of you, this may be how you deal with your transportation issue, or what may need to happen with expenses around your car or vehicle. This is you wanting to be very quick acting, so that any issues that you foresee or you're experiencing, you're able to have them swept away. I also feel like with the Chariot, this is you focusing on being unstoppable about your goals, despite the burdens, despite being overwhelmed. The Chariot is also saying there's a need to, or you are looking at how to go with the flow, or see how to recalibrate and continue to recalibrate as you deal with being overwhelmed, or deal with burdens, or taking care of your responsibilities with money and finances. Now, what's crossing you, Aquarius, with your money and finances is you have Temperance and the Knight of Cups. This is what's crossing you. This is the obstacle. This is the challenge with money. So Temperance is what's the situation that is the challenge with money. And the Knight of Cups is your attitude towards that. So what I'm seeing here is, with Temperance being a challenge, there may be a challenge with being able to go with the flow, a challenge with doing things in moderation, a challenge with the ability to have balance or keep balance. Things could be going, there's a great potential for things to go either way with your money situation. Your money situation may be in a very delicate place. There may be issues with being able to budget and sticking to that budget. There may be, this may be a time where your money situation is where things are really, really tight right now, and that's not easy to work through or deal with. And it's going to be like that for a while, or it's been like that for a while. This is also about the challenge of being able to maintain a good balance between what's going out and what's coming in terms of your money, finances, and expenses and responsibilities. This is also saying with Temperance that there may be the challenge of excessive purchases or excessive spending, whether that is avoidable or unavoidable. This is asking you to be mindful of what you can and cannot afford. Now, with the Knight of Cups here as your energy and attitude towards your money and finances, the first thing I'm hearing is don't stare a gift horse in the mouth. And there's also possibly you not being the gift horse. This may not be a time for you to be the gift horse at this time. But the Knight of Cups is saying, as your energy and attitude, that you may feel like you're getting caught up in meaningless activities, or you're trying to avoid getting caught up in meaningless activities concerning your money. The Knight of Cups is also saying there's a need for you to play your part, or be mindful about the part you are playing when it comes to how your money is being worked with here. There also may be the need to be mindful of who you're dealing with in the part they're playing or not playing with money. The Knight of Cups is also saying there's a need for you to be realistic about your money situation, where you could be fantasizing and being unrealistic about your money situation. The Knight of Cups is also saying you may be looking to get good news to help you and ease your money concerns that you're looking for. The Knight of Cups is saying as well, you could be trying to be a charmer towards others, where you are looking to see how, possibly through manipulation or persuasion, how you might be able to get money to help with your money situation as well. Also, I feel this is also you trying to imagine what you can create for money to come in terms of opportunities, or in terms of creative projects, or in terms of what you can actually seize opportunities with, or with who. Now, your likely outcome, though, Aquarius, is you do have the Seven of Swords and the Devil. Yeah, not a great combination at all. So the Seven of Swords is your energy towards, well, no, the Seven of Swords is the energy or situation as the outcome with your money. The Devil is you. Okay, you could be dealing with a Capricorn also with the Devil energy here. But with the Seven of Swords here, be careful of lies. Be careful of trying to get away with something, or someone trying to get away with something with you. This is experiencing mental challenges. This could be some sort of theft, betrayal, deception. This is a time where there's a need for you to be very careful about not being taken advantage. There's a need for you to really, truly investigate on a regular basis your current money situations and your money plans, and do that thoroughly. There's a need to be mindful of contracts, or maybe needing to put some contracts in place. Be careful of sneaky behavior on your part or the part of someone else. Beware of bargains or investment that's too good to be true. Get rich quick schemes. This is the time with the Seven of Swords for you to guard your money and your possessions. This is also the time that there may be a need for you to hold off on borrowing or loaning with your money or your possessions. Be careful of disputes and dishonesty. I also feel with the Seven of Swords here, this is saying that some of you may be deliberately concealing or keeping secrets about money, or this may be happening to you. Be careful of underhanded behavior. But the Seven of Swords is also saying that you're trying to escape. So there's going to be a need to, with the Seven of Swords, to really investigate and keep a close eye on your money and have a clear head too. Now, with that Devil energy that you have here, being your energy and attitude towards your money and finances, you could be dealing with temptation or being tempted. There could be addictions. You could be losing self-control. You could be giving into your desires. There could be a strange and unknown problem or threat that can happen with money. This may be simply fears or anger. You may be battling against irrational fear over your money situation. This may be you being reckless and acting dangerously with your money. This may be the burden of a lot of obligations. You could be obsessing over your money, where you may also be overspending, or there's too much debt. It's possible that you have little to no help at this time. The Devil is also saying that you may be feeling bound in contracts, or you're experiencing bondage, restrictions, and limitations with money. The Devil is saying you may be on the dark side of things about money, where there's materialism and mindless spending, and there's a need to get a handle on your money before you go bankrupt. Now, for some of you, the Devil is representing, with the Seven of Swords, you coming up with a strategy. You are looking for a way to be empowered and to detach from any oppression and seeing how to free yourself. So it's up to you what side that you will be on with the Seven of Swords and the Devil here. But there's going to be some trials and tribulations with money nonetheless, no matter where you end up. So the way that you think and operate is going to be key. Now, some additional message on the Devil energy as guidance and support. You have two cards that came out. You have the Hope Fool. The Fool's wisdom here is for you to remain hopeful, to be hopeful. That's the number one. That's the Magician. So with that energy of the magician. This is focusing on how you may be able to communicate, how you can make use of all your tools or resources to create what you want, to influence your situation, to be more effective financially, or to improve your financial situation. Be careful of manipulation. This is about being cunning and crafty, but be careful of being deceptive or being deceived or manipulated. And then you also have the doubtful. It's a 5. And the doubtful's wisdom is doubt appearances as they can be misleading. So that can speak to the Hierophant energy. So there may be a need to be careful about the information that you receive, who you're getting advice or guidance from. Be careful about institutions, what you're trying to establish or what someone may be trying to establish with you. Be careful about your belief system. Are you working with misguided beliefs? Be careful about whether you are looking to be conventional or be unconventional in how you address your money situation. Be mindful and careful with institutions, rules, regulations. I feel like there's a need for you to follow them or make sure they're being followed. But this is about your commitments, and there may be a focus on family. So this is the time for you to be careful at what you're doing or what you're looking at, because things may be misleading, and be careful how you could be misleading and deceiving of yourself or questing to deceive deliberately, Aquarius. So let's see about some additional message that can come through for you, Aquarius. Spirit, can we have additional message for Aquarius about their money and finances? What is additional message that can come through for Aquarius? So some of you will find a way to empower yourselves and escape whatever concerns or troubles you're experiencing with money. Thank you. And others of you, with the 7 of Swords, there is negative thinking, there's deception, there's lies, there's a struggle, there's dispute, and there is burden, and there are a lot of obligations, there are fears, maybe even anger and doubt, where it's problematic for you to keep the hope, but also where there's a need for you to really see things clearly so that you are not misleading yourself about your money situation, or that you don't be misled, and be careful not to be taken from. Now, for some of you, this is about you simply experiencing a reduction in your money somehow, some way, and you're worried as all get out about that. But you have 2 messages here. See? Focus. I just said that. Focus on your own wealth and well-being. Do not be concerned by what others appear to have or be doing. So remember I said, don't be a gift horse if this is not a good time. Okay? And also, don't stare a gift horse in the mouth, or maybe you should. Okay? Because you don't want to be deceived or played here. And then you also have, I am aligning my intent with my actions to create positive changes in my life. What's one action that I can take today with the intention to create positive changes in my finances? So this is an intention that you can speak over your money and finances, Aquarius. And that is, I am aligning my intent with my actions to create positive changes in my life. So I do want to say, Aquarius, you may be resorting to unusual tactics for what you want to make happen about your money. Make sure that they aren't tactics that can get you in a lot of trouble and possibly jail time. Just saying. And let's see what some additional guidance and or being hooked up with anybody that will cause you to end up being there too. Just saying. So let's see. Because this is you thinking you're powerless and seeing it with the worst case scenarios around it. It doesn't mean there isn't anything to worry about, but you might be overthinking this shit. And be careful that you aren't trying to do anything that ends up being a trick bag for you. And be careful of the tricks of others. Okay? You want to have strategy that's crafty and cunning that allows you to escape. Okay? Just be mindful to what extent that you are doing things to get away or to get away with. So let's see. What's a final message for Aquarius? Thank you. Abundance mindset. Thank you, Spirit. If you think of your abundance as something that happens in the future, then it will always be one day away from you. See, feel, think, and speak of abundance as something you already have in the present moment, and that is what you will experience. So you have to get control of your thoughts and your mind, come up with the plans and tweak your plans and recalibrate. And if there's anything that doesn't have to be your responsibility, let it go. But take responsibility and see how you can carry those responsibilities and see how you can be released by them as well. I hope these messages help. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye, Aquarius.